Back with another unflinching look at some hard-hitting Euro headlines. And in a week of controversy, let's begin in Paris and PSG's big win over Jose's new young pony club. Here's Thursday's front page of L'Equipe. Quel finale, they say. What a finale after Pastore's wonder goal at the finish. Pastore, the stroke of genius. Well, it was indeed a leg that was set by Pastore in Paris. A goal that they say changes everything, and they give a big merci too to Lavezzi just as well, since he'd shown absolutely none to Chelsea's backline throughout the game. Merci. OK then, L'Equipe now had billed this match ahead of the kick-off as the special match, but it was interesting how neither of their pre-game cover stars turned out to have a good evening. For while Mu moped off on Wednesday, moaning about strikers again, Oubre awoke the next morning to possibly his worst French reviews ever. To wit, this match did nothing to dispel Ibre's label as a big game bottler, says L'Equipe, awarding him 3 out of 10. To put that in perspective, even David Luiz got 4. Well, on the reaction, here's L'Aujourd'hui saying Paris can believe in their dream, and so can the rest of England, who, says the paper, were all supporting the Parisians. Interesting. It's a match that will live in PSG's story, this, says Aujourd'hui, and it's all thanks to Pastore, and that's a sentence we never thought we'd write. He's won not just a game, but credibility for the whole Parisian project. How romantic. Well, moving on then, and next up it's plucky Man United's plucky 1-1 draw with big Bayern Munich, which drew a fairly angry reaction in the German press. So here's Bild. On Wednesday morning, Bayern need more goal sex. Explains the paper, they stroke it around too much and never come to the shot. Almost 1,000 times they tried, and still Bayern flew home with only a draw. So the return match will be played in very tight knickers. Arguably, Tuesday was already the tightest of draws. Bill, though, underneath, actually, also reporting Bayern's outrage at English headlines like, "You dirty Schwein," with a little bit of wordplay there. Englishmen insult Schweinsteiger, and Süddeutsche reporting that Bayern Munich have now withdrawn press passes for the return leg for the offending papers. Well, you can understand how upset they are, as German papers are well above such things. Let's have a look at Süddeutsche's own match report from Wednesday. Let's see. The English and the weather, it's almost as tragic as the English and penalties, they chortle. So we knew something was strange on Tuesday when instead of rain in Manchester, there was warm wind. And indeed, when the darn corner came in, Vidic scored and the whole stadium roared as if every pub in England had just closed. Well, equally, Die Zeit and their pre-game profile of Wayne Rooney entitled The Thick-Set Prima Donna, in which they explain Rooney's physical condition and his mentality are always reasons for disappointment. Lazy, selfish, and his ongoing contract discussions suggest obviously greedy. Hey, Die Zeit, he may be lazy, selfish and greedy, but he's our lazy, selfish and greedy. Grrr. Now, Champions League excitements are far from the only big story, of course, this week. There's also been FIFA and their blooming Barca ban bombshell. Barcelona, as you may have read, off transfers for a whole year for signing underage players, what may indeed prove the most damaging young signing since Ashley went to Old Trafford. Well, the club is set to appeal, of course, but Thursday's Catalan press well up in arms over the whole thing. Here's El Nueve, for example, calling it the perfect storm. They say Barcelona is facing a battle for its very existence. Good headline, that. Scandal, says Sport, and they accuse Blatter here of being behind it all. We're victims of political battles at FIFA, they say. They are stabbing in the back the greatest team ever. We must know who makes these accusations. We can't go from being the most exemplary team in Europe to child traffickers. Well, across town at El Mundo, similar stuff. They fired a missile at Barcelona, and like Sport, they blame part-time comedian Sepp Blatter, an outrageous description of the FIFA boss, who's full-time, if anything. El Mundo have 4 questions. What law did we break? Who grassed us up to FIFA? Did other clubs do it too? And what's going to happen with our new goalkeeper, Ter Stegen? Inside, they admit, yes, we did go beyond the rules a little bit, but it's a blunder. It's like passing through a red traffic light with a badly injured person who needs to go to hospital. Other teams surely do it as well, but look, FIFA has acted only against Barca on an anonymous tip. Does that sound familiar? Asks El Mundo Deportivo, who add the club will appeal, but they may not have the means to prevent Blatter's madness. Over in Madrid, AS and Marca just about keeping straight faces as they report the story. They both point out that Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid are also under investigation by FIFA, although they're not in as much trouble as Barcelona because, especially, as AS point out, they have been neglecting their squad for too long. This has happened at the worst moment for Barcelona, says the paper's editorial, but you can't go around the world breaking rules and not get punished for it. Yep, if Sepp Blatter and co have one thing to teach us, it's surely that. Well, more on all these stories, no doubt, next time out. But that's it for this week's look at the papers. We'll be back next Friday. Hopefully, we'll see you then.